Hi everybody, Steffi here from The Makers, and I'm here to show you how to needle felt eyes, in particular on this moon gazing hare, where the eyes are completely needle felted. If you know us, The Makers, then you will know that we often use glue-in eyes for our needle felted creatures, because it's a really simple way of getting eyes done very quickly, but there are other ways of doing it. And if you just prefer not to have any sort of like wire or glass bits in the head of your make because you want to make the eyes, this is a very simple way that I'm showing you now how to make the eyes, and this is how the eyes are done on our moon gazing hare for the March subscription box 2023. Okay, let's start. So first of all, I need to give you a bit of a warning because I'm going to use just a head. This is the head. It's very, very similar if you sort of imagine that this is the head like the moon gazing hare where the eye is going to go. Okay, just to give you the heads up, literally, I'm giving you the heads up now. There you go. This is where the saying comes from, surely. Heads up. I have no idea where the saying comes from. Probably not from this. And so I'm going to show you that this is the head that I've pre-made, and here is the wool that you need to make the eye. Just to remind you, this is what I'm aiming for. So this is the eye here that I'm making. Now the eye will go through a few transitions, which might look a little bit like this is never going to look like that, but I promise you it will. So first off, you decide where the eye is going. So make sure that you check that with the instructions. And then you're going to take some white wool. Now, because I have made an eye here already, which I haven't shown you, but there it is, I need to make sure it's actually exactly symmetrical. And that is a big tip that I can give you now, whether you're making eyes or whatever you're making. Make sure you work in symmetry when you're making animals. Now, I'm going to add a big patch of white first. And that white patch, I think it's about 2 centimeters. I haven't got the instructions here in front of me now, but whatever it says in the instructions, it is proportionally large. So it's way bigger than what you think the eye will be. But you have to imagine that we're sort of layering wool over the top of this to recreate an eye. And all you need to do is you don't even need to pre-shape that white shape, because you can stab it in and literally get it to be the shape you want it to be by stabbing into it. Now I would suggest use just checking that it's in symmetry with the other one. If you're doing this particular hair project, or if you're doing any eyes, what I can also suggest is to needle felt each stage of the eye on in synchronicity with the other side. So do one side and then do the other side. So do it, not do just one eye and then the other eye like I'm doing here now, but do this side and then repeat the same on the other side. Do this side, repeat it on the other side. So this is the beginning of the eye, which looks a little bit freaky. And then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to add a black disc on top of the white, but you're going to leave a little bit of the white showing. So again, you don't need to be very precise. You can make this a preciser shape, but it actually works quite well. Just starting out, stabbing it down, and then finding sort of the circle of the white underneath. And all you're going to leave is a little bit on the back here, which is like a sickle shape, like a moon sickle shape. So this bit that you're leaving here in white resembles the shape of a sickle moon. So remember, less is always more, so don't put too much wool on there. You can always add more, but work quite neatly, and it does look very strange. It's definitely might make you think, oh my goodness, this is never going to be what I want it to be, but just trust the process. It's going to be fine. So I'm felting this wool down nice and firmly. So I'm trying to get quite a smooth surface. I'm not stabbing too deep. And you can always add a little bit more black where you think it's necessary. if you haven't covered up enough of the white. So now I've got a little sickle shape, and I've got a black disc just in front, on top of the white, and sort of slightly, well, it's definitely covering most of that big disc up now. I'm going to add a little bit more black here, just to make that a little bit rounder, that black shape, and that sickle moon a bit more sickly, if that is a word. And felt that down. So the head needs to be quite firm for it to receive an eye like that. So make sure you've got your the head quite firmly needle felted. Yeah, that looks okay. So now we're going to create two eyelets, one on top and one at the bottom. For this you need a pinch of wool, and then you're going to fold this pinch of wool in half, like this. If you're following the hair instructions, it will tell you exactly how big that pinch of wool needs to be. And so whilst you fold it in half, you're just going to secure it just a little bit. Don't felt it down too much, but just felt it so that it is now a clear edge at the top, and you've got all these wispy ends still sticking out. So it's just that it's not popping open. And now you place this on top of the eye, so that it's like a little hood that reaches over, and you should do this by about 1/4. So you're covering up the eye by about 1/4, and then you're felting first off these wispy bits down, like this. So now you've got like a big hooded eye here. It's a good way to make dragon eyes as well. But for the hair, we obviously want this to be much more subtle. So felt it down, and now start felting towards the actual eyelids. So you want to make that quite neat. What you're aiming for is that the eye itself, so the black and white that you've felted down first, becomes almond shape. And the one thing that I have actually forgotten in this process is to put a reflection dot in. But I can do this now. So in the instruction it tells you to do this before you put the eyelid on. But actually, if you just take a wisp of white, you can do it now or any time during the process. And you're just going to felt this down. This, again, it will appear really weird to do this, but this is sort of naturally the reflection that you would see in a shiny black eye. So that's the top lid felted on. You can always repeat the process if you want a more distinct lid. And now you're going to repeat the process with the lower lid, and you will need a little bit less wool. Again, stretch it out, fold it in half. That fold will become the lid itself. So the neat edge, felt it down a little bit. Leave the wispy ends wispy, and then you're going to again cover about 1/4. Felt the wispy bits down first, so you've got a really smooth transition onto the head, so you don't have any sort of lumpy bits that look like you've just attached something. And then you're going to neaten out the area where the actual lid is. So this becomes particularly interesting when you make two eyes, because you've got to keep looking at the other eye to make sure that you have got oh, this is not bad at all if I look at it. So this is the eye I've just made, and this is the eye I made earlier. So this one is a little bit more closed. So to do this, I can adjust the lids by stabbing them closer into the eye. So this will be the challenge for you, is to do two the same, but then you could also be winking with one eye. So, and make sure that it's nice and neat. And that basically is how you needle felt eyes onto your hair, potentially. There you go. Hope that explained it quite well. It is a really simple process, very effective, and you can do it all with wool. No extra eyes required. You can make it literally with the resources that you have got if you are a needle felter and you just need to use wool. Sorry, it looks a little bit freaky with just the head, but I just show you this one here. There you go. That's what we've just needle felted, hopefully together. And I can't wait to see your needle felted eyes on hares or other animals. See you soon. Bye.